So let's get into the vibes. What you been vibing
Yo,
on, bro? What you got going on?
uh, actually, before we get into the vibes,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to Jamie Foxx, y'all. Uh, he's been
You've been going
he's
through it.
he's been going through it. The man's been in
Mm-hmm.
the hospital for three weeks. People Magazine reports here Jamie Foxx is feeling the love from his fans on Wednesday, 3 weeks after his family revealed that he was hospitalized due to a medical complication.
Mm-hmm.
The Oscar winner, 55 years old, he wrote in an Instagram post, appreciate all the love and feeling blessed. Over on his Instagram story, he also gave a shout out to Nick Cannon for filling in on his hosting duties for the upcoming season of Beat Shazam. Appreciate you, boy, at Nick Cannon. See you soon.
Mechanic
His
coming through.
Yeah, coming through.
Good
Nick
look.
Cannon does all the jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
He's
he
that
stayed
guy. That
behind the
guy
mic.
works.
He
Yeah,
stayed behind the mic. He stayed with a
that
job.
guy. His work
He got
ethic
a
is
lot of kids
crazy.
to feed, so
He
that guy.
does. He probably kind of has no choice.
His daughter Corrine wrote on her Instagram story while sharing her dad's post. Thanks for the love. On April 12th, uh, Corrine, she's 29, announced in a statement on Instagram that her dad had experienced AIDS. So that was what, April 12th? Yeah, had
Okay.
experienced a medical complication the day
Mm-hmm.
prior. He was in Atlanta filming the Netflix movie Back in Action. So put that on your radar. You know what I mean? Hopefully
Definitely looking out for that.
um, that can end up coming out and he finished the movie because he's back, he's healthy, he's back at work.
Mm.
And for those, there's some people out there that don't realize Jamie Foxx has a pretty renowned music career. So this
Yeah.
is why we're bringing up Jamie Foxx right now during the vibes. And go back and listen to it's Hollywood, A Story of a Dozen Roses, right? That was Jamie Foxx album that came out in 2015. So his
That's
latest
about
album,
right.
he's 20
About right.
his latest album wasn't that far removed. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he has bangers from
Mm.
previous albums too. You should just put on the Jamie Foxx playlist. So much love to Jamie Foxx. He is a fucking living legend.
He
Let me
is.
tell you,
He is.
I made
I
this
rock with Jamie
decision.
Foxx.
I made this decision. Like in my lifetime, I think he is the most talented human being to live during my lifetime.
Yeah, that's actually that's something that I can actually get behind. Because he's Jamie
That
Foxx
bro.
is like one of my favorite entertainers of all time. Like that's of all time. It doesn't matter what
Bro,
generation. He's one of my favorite entertainers of all time. He's
he
definitely one of the
does
most talented people.
everything and he
Yeah,
does it
he
great.
does it
He does
well. Yeah, he's excellent.
impressions.
Yeah,
He does
he's
impressions
this guy he's next level talent. His
from
like he
comedy
has
to drama to
amazing
singing to
and
instruments.
it's not just this. It's not just like regular TV comedy. This guy did stand up shows. Like
Yeah.
he's stand up funny, stand up funny.
Jamie
Like
Foxx
this
is one of
guy,
the
yeah,
greatest,
big
like
facts,
talented
big
people
facts.
that we have. And so
He don't get enough recognition. I don't think he's a legend for real.
but he stayed
I rock with
working.
Jimmy
So
Fox.
I think he's still
That
fine.
too.
Even now, he's still in his prime. Still, this
Yeah,
dude's been in his prime for like 20 years,
going crazy. Yeah,
going crazy,
mm,
like giving us epic fucking roles back to
yeah.
back,
Ray
and then
Charles.
dropping albums between that stuff. Like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for his EGOT. Like, I don't know if he does theater,
Mm,
but like,
mm,
I would be, um, he's like, he should just get one. Just
yeah.
give it to him already.
Mm.
You know what I mean? What would be missing? Does he have an Oscar? I don't.
I thought he had an Oscar for like the Ray Charles or the Ray
Did he
Charles
for
movie, or the
that one?
violinist, or
If that
I can't.
movie, but he didn't.
I gotta check. I gotta check. I thought he got an Oscar or something for one of them. I'm not sure, or maybe he was nominated.
Bruh, Jamie Foxx was so fucking talented. Oscar for Ray. You
Yeah.
know, so like that's the tough one.
Mm-hmm.
That's the tough one. He got the Oscar.
Man got the Oscar, bro.
He
This
got
guy,
that one. That's a tough one.
this guy who started off as a comedian got an
Yeah,
Oscar for Ray.
for Ray.
Come on, y'all. That's
Leading
crazy.
role,
Leading role, yeah.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
So shout outs to him and flowers and flowers and flowers.
Yeah.
Um,
I rock with Jamie Foxx.
to Jamie,
Mm-hmm.
and get well soon. And looking forward to, and make sure I support that movie when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's Back in Action. It's gonna be on Netflix when it comes out. So we know you're gonna get back on the horse and finish that out. So So that's that. The another thing that's kind of a curveball here in the vibes is so Smokey Robinson dropped an album.
What? The
And
OG.
the OZ dropped an album.
Yo. All right, Smokey.
And so I guess I it wasn't on my radar but you know,
Wow.
I came through.
Yeah.
But I had heard something about apparently he might have had an affair with is it maybe Diana Ross?
No way, bro. No
Or
way.
something. I heard this
you know
randomly,
what?
something like that.
You know what?
This is all speculation. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. But I'm thinking in my head like
Reckless
you know what?
speculation.
It's not that far fetched though.
So
it's not
I heard that
far-fetched.
and I'm like, damn, that was so
Yeah.
random for me to hear something, a random rumor about Smokey Robinson. And Lord behold, next week, the following week, the album drops. So maybe it was kind of like to get the pot stirring or something like that. I don't know. But like, so the album came out. And I'm not going to dwell. And mind you, don't put up the we're just gonna put up the album post, but we're not gonna rate it. It's not part of the vibes. It's just a side note, so we don't rate it.
Yeah.
With that said, hey, y'all did that man wrong, dog. That album, dog. Like y'all couldn't give my man no writer. Was the writer strike? I thought the writer strike just happened.
Right.
Like how long this album been in the kitchen? Dog, y'all ain't got no writers in that bit. That shit has some like elementary school level fucking like back of the classroom on the note paper passing it around like level like of intellectual heft.
Yeah.
Dog, it was a lot of the lyrics repeated. You just repeated because just to fill in the bar.
Yeah.
Because he needed a bar. It was like, y'all ain't give my man no writers, dog. Like and like I see the concept, dog, even to the point where I knew I was like, this is wild. I'm gonna tell you what's wild. Okay. I should have known something was up with this fucking album. The name of the album. Dog, look at it. Go look it up. Look it up. Look it up. No, you look it up. Look it up.
You trying to set up this? Okay, I'll
look it up and tell the people the name.
Okay. You see how you trying to set up this cliffhanger? Jesus Christ. Okay.
The name of Smokey Robinson. Smokey Robinson.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
Tell the people the name of the album.
This is bad.
Tell the people the name of the album.
Oh my. So bruh.
And look at the name of the first track.
So the name of the album is Gasms. Right? Like orgasms, the name of it is actually called Gasms. So without the OR. Right? So I'm looking at the name of the first track.
I should have known. His writers didn't know how to spell orgasm. I should have known. They didn't know how to spell. They got that thing gasms.
It's called Gasms, bro. That's
that thing had one line that go, "You give me eargasms."
Oh gosh. I mean, based on this description, it is a concept album about sex and other forms of pleasure. The release has received controversy for its title and themes, as well as positive critical.
It's trying to be baby making music.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
And I see it, and I listen to it, and I'm like, I see it. You know what I mean? It's happy naked time music. But they ain't give you no writers, dog.
Yeah, that's bad.
They ain't give you no writers from jump, dog. Yeah. And when I listen to the whole album, like, and I'm listening to the lyrics and stuff, and like he's singing it, and like, you know, his voice is still good for what it's trying to do. You know what I mean? Okay. Like almost like that, you know, that midnight radio, low radio. You listening to overnight, midnight radio. You know how that kind of voice kind of goes.
Yeah.
And so it will work for that concept. But dog, there ain't no writing. The shit was done by some elementary school kids project.
Do
You know,
people in his generation of like artists and musicians, did they have songwriters back then like that?
this ain't back
I
then though. This
imagine,
is now.
yeah,
How
I
y'all
know.
having my man's come out with an album now?
Right. That's why I was wondering, like, maybe he was the one that wrote it. Maybe he was the one that wrote it. I don't know. I don't know.
You gotta have friends that actually love you, dog. This is a judgment of your friend circle, right? It's those people that go on American Idol that are absolutely horrible. And at that point, I'm like, this person doesn't have anyone in their life that actually fuck with them. Not really. Not really. They have family, you know what I mean? They may even have a spouse, but they don't really fuck with them to like be able to be like, bruh. This ain't it. No, Smokey.
I mean,
Smokey,
but what
Smokey,
are you
my guy. My guy.
But as a friend of Smokey Robinson, what are you gonna tell him? You're gonna be like, nah, Smokey, that ain't it.
Yeah, dog. If you really fuck with him.
Bro, that's equivalent to being like, to walking up to Jordan and being like, yo, Mike, that ain't a good shot.
No,
man.
you know, if Jordan
what?
No, I'm talking about today. If Jordan go out on the court today,
that's fair.
I'm gonna say that to him.
But Jordan's today would still look at you crazy. even Jordan today, he would still look at you crazy. You know what he would say? He was like, I got 6 rings. What are you talking about?
We're talking about today, sir. Today. You gotta go out there today against Steph Curry. Right. This nigga's gonna dribble through your legs. Yeah. Bruh. Like literally through your legs.
Oh no, man.
Bruh.
He may not have honest guys in his corner.
There's AD out there. He's healthy right now. Jordan.
Yeah.
Stop. Somebody's supposed to okay, but you know what? How about this? Al Horford is still in the league.
Yes.
He's considered old. You know what I mean? Braun is old and all that kind of stuff too. But like Al Horford, he find his ass in the corner. Ray Allen did this too at the end of his career. Go sit my ass in the corner. I just spot up 3. It's like practice. Yeah. Right here. I'm just gonna be over here. I'm gonna be a liability on defense. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna give you, 3 for 6. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever you put me in to the rest of the other guys, you know what I mean? I'll pass it, I'll help the transition and all that. Maybe I might get a rebound if I'm nearby. But like you put them in their space, you put them in their lane. Like Smokey could still have done this album, but he just needed better writers. People put him in a position, better people to put him in a position to succeed. So that starts from his family and friends and so people that fuck with him to say, yo, this ain't it. You know what I mean? But I appreciate that you still trying to work. You know what I mean? Especially as an older artist. I want to see older artists keep doing their thing. Let them grow gracefully and and do their thing. And so, but I think it's disrespectful for a legend like Smokey Robinson to not have writers to like clean that shit up, even at the end after his family.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying there. Yeah.
No, dog, we can't let him go out like that. It looked like it's just like a money grab.
I mean, Babyface.
It just looks like he's just trying to make a bag.
That's true. It does look like that low key. Because even like Babyface would have put out some new music in the past year or so, and based on his lyrics, he definitely had songwriters. Based on the lyrics of like he had like a whole music video and everything with like a young artist or whatever, walking around like a grandpa, but like he was saying some stuff that people say in this generation. I was like, yeah, he definitely had songwriters for sure. Songwriters. So I mean, you got a point. You got a point, man.
Maybe I mean I hope he comes out with another one. So kind of like bury this one in the ash heap of history. But the concept was not a bad concept. His sound, he sounds fine. He sounds great for the especially for that concept. Yeah. Just the man that the writing and but there is one though. I Fit in There.
Mm.
That shit was hitting. That shit was hitting.
Okay.
They put all the
All right.
budget into that one.
Okay.
Into that one. I
Okay,
Fit in There. Smokey
Mhm.
Robinson. 2023. Still got that spark. I know it's in there. I know it's in there. I know it's in there, Smokey.
Okay, so it's in there. It's just lazy writing. Okay.
It's just lazy writing. What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I gotta give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button, because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe, so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too. The actual vibes, right, is first of all IDK. Right, this album, this is, I guess maybe this is sort of a concept album. It's called F65, and there's this NASCAR driver, the black NASCAR driver. I think his name, what's his name? Hamilton. I think it might be Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of dressed up like that, and that's the concept album. It's kind of race car motif, right? That album is about. But that, man, that it's banger after banger. It's a pretty long album. We got 22 tracks on here. But bro, I don't know if it's fucking. I feel like he just created a new genre. I don't know if he created it, or maybe I'm just being introduced to it. This is trap jazz. It's jazzy. It's a jazzy ass album.
I don't think I would have ever imagined hearing something like that.
I would make it akin to. I would make it akin to a little bit like Kendrick. But I don't really see Kendrick as trap music at all at any level. But this one is a little bit more. It's a little bit more gritty. You know, matter of fact, I think this dude was I don't know if he's a former gang member.
How would you define Kendrick's music?
Kendrick's music is more poetic. It's more street poetry.
Okay, I think that's accurate.
Yeah, Kendrick is street poetry. So this dude is but it's all layered over saxophones and spoken word and pianos and like bass guitars. This fucking like hood nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Clearly he's had some interesting
inspiration. The shit is good. The shit is good. So shout outs to IDK for that. Oh, by the way, IDK stands for damn, what that joint stands for?
I was thinking I don't know, but
it was something like
different for him.
Ignorantly doing something. Let me forgot what that joint stands for. IDK rapper. It's called Ignorantly Delivering Knowledge. And so the actual vibes that I was like on heavy rotation is Q. Q put out an album.
Schoolboy Q? Or Q-Tip?
Q. That's his name.
That's his name now?
The letter Q.
Oh, so this is a separate being entirely.
The entire individual. Okay, we're not talking about
it's a whole different being.
There could be other Qs out there in the worord.
Apparently so. It's news to me.
And so actually that's part of the ambiguity that he like leans into. You like, you know, because it's kind of hard to like nail him down on what he does. He says that his father named him Q because he's just like, he knew he was gonna be destined for great things, so he wanted to give him an ambiguous name that could mold into whatever he wanted to be, something like that, some crazy stuff.
Does one letter qualify as a name?
His name's Q. So the album is called Soul Present, and I think you remember when we talked about when I talked about that Yachty, when that Yachty came out? One thing I said is that Yachty is putting everybody on notice early.
Mhm.
He's letting y'all know this is where y'all, this is the bar. This is the bar. We put out that album.
Mhm.
I said Yachty's album should be nominated for Album of the Year. I think I have our second nomination.
Oh my God. Okay.
I think
All
I have
right.
our second. And here's the thing.
Okay. Mm.
I think Q came through and told Yachty to hold my Chardonnay. Because that's the vibes.
Mm. Okay.
You're gonna need a Chardonnay.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what pairs well with
Mhm.
this Soul Present album.
See, now you gassing. See, now you
I'm just telling you, you might want to go
Okay.
buy a fresh bottle, get a
Mhm.
recommendation,
Okay.
because that's the vibes. This is some
Mm.
fucking like adult fucking nuanced shit. Talk about
Mhm.
from top to bottom. And shout out to Broward County.
Okay, I see Broward County doing that
That's
thing. Okay.
that dude was just doing this from Broward County.
Oh, that's fire. That's
He's moved,
fire.
he's moved to LA and all that stuff now. But like,
Yeah, because to
he
have connections and all that stuff and make the music, yeah.
he had a song from one of his songs was featured on Insecure.
Mm.
You know, as one of like the
Okay.
closing tracks.
Yeah.
This album is fucking flawless.
Come on, bro. That's see
It's
now
flawless.
you gassing it, bro. I don't even think there are flawless albums that exist anymore. Like that's kind of
As a music production, it's flawless, and
okay.
it's not the thing that's like this album is gonna be for everybody. I'm not saying that,
Mhm.
but if you go into it with just as a music critique, a work of art,
You're saying musically is flawless.
musically is flawless. Like the tempo, the layout, the from track to the build up to till the end, it's a great listen. It's a work of art. I felt this type of feeling, and I'm not some fucking like musical notes and music sheet talking guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just some fucking dude that listens to shit right all the
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
I felt this when I listened to Lemonade.
Okay.
When I listened to Lemonade, it was like, boom, this is it. When I listened to Yachty, it hit like that. This should be nominated. This album, Soul Present, Q, you know, grew up out of Broward County, right there, South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Shout out to these South Florida artists. You
Dope.
brought one up. Was it Grizzly? Was it you said his name T Grizzly or come
No,
on?
the Tigers is from Chicago.
Not him. You said somebody.
Oh, I'm talking about Ball Greasy.
Oh,
Ball
Ball
Greasy.
Greasy. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ball
yeah,
Greasy.
fresh
Yeah,
out of
from
Dade,
down
yeah,
there. And so,
Dade County. Yep.
South Florida, man, just freaking on the map out here.
Well, I mean, Florida has a lot of has had a lot of talent for some time.
Sure, for sure.
Just because of the stigma of like music coming out of Miami, it kind of hindered
Yeah,
a
it
lot
made
of
it seem like it was just all
guys.
party, booty
Yeah,
shaking
yeah.
stuff and everything.
It's hard making
But
it out
like
of
this is
Miami.
like very introspective.
Yeah.
He gets real vulnerable in this album, and for it to have that kind of cadence to it,
Yeah.
coming out of a place like South Florida, it's way more thoughtful in terms of the just the whole body of work and presentation of it. To know that he's like, bro, I feel like sometimes some people were just born in the wrong decade.
Yeah.
I know
exactly what you mean.
I
Yeah.
feel like wrong decade, before time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like, I mean, I wish like I love the sounds that came out of the 70s, right? The 70s and 80s, right? And
I feel that way about the 90s.
I love the 90s. I love the 90s. Don't get me wrong, but like there's just stuff that comes out like late 60s, 70s and stuff that's like that I hear, now, and I'm like, damn, that shit was probably riding when it first, because it's hitting now. It's hitting now when I come across it. You know what I mean? When I come across, so I'm like, man, my whole tapestry of music would have been these kinds of sounds if I was of that age. If I was 15, 16 years old in 1975, I was already 15, getting into my bag of like my character or whatever. Like that would have been. I feel like that would have been such a happy place for me. You know what I mean? If that could have been like the tapestry music that I was just grew up with, and that was just ingrained in me. So what's ingrained in me now is all the '90s stuff, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, all the late, maybe I got maybe some late '80s, '90s stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, the early 2000s stuff is, but I feel like that shit's just like replaceable.
Yeah,
all that
yeah,
bye
yeah.
bye bye and all that kind of shit. It's just replaceable. You're irreplaceable. That's another song. You know, all that stuff. They come and go. It's just pop music came and just like it. Fucking. You know, it went to shit. But the last thing I'll say about Q is that he actually he says he has influences of Michael Jackson and Drake, right? As a fusion sort of, but he gives way more Prince to me, Prince and Childish Gambino to me. But I'm like, if who he thinks he's influencing, he's styling himself after is Michael Jackson, it's not it, because when I'm listening to him, I'm getting way more Prince vibes. Yeah, I'm getting way more Prince vibes from him when I'm hearing him. And you know, maybe there is some crossover with Prince and Michael Jackson. You know, in terms of stylistics, you know, certain songs and stuff. But like, in terms of acoustics, music production, I think Prince was more of that ilk versus the poppy. The Michael really leaned pop.
Okay, I got you. I see what you're saying.
You know,
because Prince was more like kind of rock and roll a little bit, wasn't he?
It's rock, but it was like adult contemporary rock. It's pop. It was not really pop. It was like soulful rock, contemporary, adult contemporary, something like that. So yeah, he was in his own kind of lane there.